Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and tonight we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, AMD and Nvidia again. So, I'll keep making these videos as long as it takes to set the record straight about what you're getting with Nvidia versus what you're getting with the AMD, because there is just no other way to really to really to really talk about this other than just going like freaking head to head. What you're seeing in the background on this video is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I was told, I mean, we've all been told that Nvidia is just 100% better than AMD when it comes to ray tracing. And here you see the 7800 XT pulling ahead of the of the Nvidia 4070. Let's be clear. The Nvidia cards are nothing without DLSS. They're nothing without DLSS. They are basic freaking GPUs that can barely get the job done, and it's kind of a, I'm not even gonna lie, man, this 4070 is a little bit disappointing when it comes to rasterized power. I mean, when I jump on it, okay, let's put it this way, man, because I'm not trying to be mean, but at the same time, if you're gonna market a card as a 1440p graphics card, now I get 100% get that there are those outliers out there that are going to be a little bit heavier and might not always hit that at least minimum 60 frames a second for you to be able to classify a card. I think that's like a bare minimum. 1440p, 60 frames a second, max settings, at least max settings without ray tracing. You should be able to max, I mean, on a brand new GPU, you should be able to max that out. Especially on a freaking game that came out on like a PlayStation 5. Like, you should be able to max that out on a $600 graphics card. And now I know that the Nvidia bros are gonna be like, you don't know what you're talking about. They made it so DLSS. No, DLSS is supposed to be the cherry on top, just as FSR is supposed to be the cherry on top. Not the cherry to get you to that spot. No, it should be the cherry on top. I think that when AMD and Nvidia market a GPU as like a 1440p class card or a 4K card or a 1080p card, at bare minimum, and tell me if I'm wrong, at bare minimum, that GPU should probably be able to hit 60 frames a second, at least for the first 2 years. At least until that next generation rolls along, and then maybe you start to see it kind of taper off, and then you've got to start using your FSR, your DLSS to start getting you over that 60 FPS. Because in 2 years you're gonna see more games are going to come out and they're going to be more demanding. They're going to be more heavy. But I mean, what we're seeing in the GPU space or in the PC space is that games will come out and then like your GPU will like already start to fall apart. Now, when I was doing the Hogwarts Legacy video the other day, I mean, I've got some feedback on that. People telling me that I'm like severely bottlenecked on my 5900X for that. So you got to take that into account too. I'm a regular gamer. I've got a regular PC. I got a 5900X. That's supposed to be a dang good CPU. It's running just fine with my 7800 XT. It actually feels very optimized for that 1440p build. Like, it feels pretty dang good. I rarely ever get bottlenecked on that. But then you look at the Nvidia side. Say you have that and you're like, oh, okay, well, wait a minute. So do I need to upgrade and get a new CPU every time I get an Nvidia GPU? Like, see, that's the thing. It's like the compounding cost when it gets into PC space that you're like, oh man, this PC, and it's like nobody can accurately recommend a good CPU for you so that you're not bottlenecked at like 1440p or 4K or whatever. But the truth of the matter is these graphics cards are getting so powerful that like 1440p, like your CPU is bottlenecking, is getting bottlenecked and stuff like that. We're at a point right now where we don't necessarily need more power. What we really need is better optimization. And as long as Nvidia's out there pushing like ray tracing and stuff like that. Ray tracing, don't get me wrong, ray tracing's fine. And like when you see it in like Resident Evil 4 and some of these other games that are good, that are highly optimized for both platforms, but that ray tracing looks fine and it works just good. Why all of a sudden, like when you get on this Nvidia, why does Nvidia's ray tracing have to cripple your GPU performance so much? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like this, it's supposed to be the king of doing ray tracing, but then when you put any other ray tracing game on there that's optimized and runs just fine, they look fine and they run beautiful, and you can utilize it and get a high frame rate. But for some reason, man, these dang Nvidia games just don't run that well with the ray tracing. So that leads me to think that maybe Nvidia's ray tracing is just trash. It's unoptimized trash that that they are charging you a premium for just so you can look at it. And like, seriously, man, most of the Nvidia games ray tracing is pretty much like a photo mode only. And you can get mad at me all you want, Nvidia bros. You can get mad at me all you want, but at the end of the day, it really is. It's just unoptimized trash. It looks good, but you can barely use it. Even on Nvidia's most powerful GPUs that are supposed to be the world's greatest, you can barely freaking use it. Now, I sat here all day, all freaking day. It is 10 o'clock at night. I put the AMD, I put the 7800 XT back in about an hour ago so I could capture the footage, because I was actually just sitting there playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, because I was like, you know what, man, that's a game I haven't checked on the 4070 yet. I want to go ahead and throw it in and check it. And I was going through that, and I was like, I'm grateful that I decided to record my footage, because I'm going through it and I'm seeing this game absolutely freaking struggle bust its way all the way through that first section without DLSS or anything else on it. I'm like, gosh dang, man. And they call Nvidia like the king of ray tracing, and these cards can barely freaking do it to the point where it's like where it's an optimized experience. Like, you'll see this game like stutter and stop and all of that stuff, you know, all the things that AMD gets accused of all the time. But then when you watch the AMD footage right next to it, and you see the AMD card not only having a higher frame rate with the exact same settings, but it's not stopping, it's not stuttering out, it's not hitching or any of that stuff. No, that's an Nvidia thing, man, and it has been ever since I've been a PC gamer and bought Nvidia cards. Yeah, the stutter struggle for the Nvidia bros is real. Like, I get way more stuttering on the Nvidia GPUs than I ever do on the AMD ones. And it's just weird. Like, I mean, well, okay, let's be fair. Let's be honest. If it is stuttering on the AMD card, it's not hitching, stopping, and all of that stuff. You might like be running, and then all of a sudden you'll hit a freaking nice little stutter, and you'll see it and you'll feel it. So I mean, but it's like one of those things where you're kind of like, okay, yeah, it didn't really completely ruin or affect the game or get really annoying. It gets really annoying when you're running and then it just stops and you're like, oh great, it froze, and then it unfreezes, and then you run another couple steps and then it freezes again. That's an Nvidia thing, man. I've yet to see it get that freaking bad on the AMD cards. I mean, I think there might be like one or two games that have done that for me, but man, this is like a reoccurring theme for the Nvidia cards. I mean, some games run absolutely incredible on the Nvidia GPU. When I'm playing like Forza Motorsport on there, it doesn't like drop down as low as the AMD card does. In certain tracks and certain spots, when I'm on the AMD 7800 XT, 7900 XT, you'll get to a certain spot and it'll drop down into like 45 frames a second and then go right back up. But you can notice it, you feel it, you feel it and you see it at the same time. And yeah, that is annoying, but you don't get those on the Nvidia GPU on that game for some reason. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's awesome. There are some wins for the 4070. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a complete trash card. But what I'm saying is, like, if everybody's gonna sit out there and slander AMD and say it's trash and say that it's broken, dude, I will never shut up and be quiet about my experience. No, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I am not gonna let people just sit there and bash and trash AMD without somebody coming out and being like, no, man, this is acceptable. If you can accept the crap that you go through with Nvidia, yeah, dude, the AMD experience is just as acceptable, easily. I love it. I think it's incredible. I absolutely think it's incredible that people will sit there and be like, oh, Nvidia is the best. And I'm like, dude, if that's the best, man, you guys really do need to try AMD, because I think you're getting completely ripped off and lied to, and you're getting a terrible experience when you could pay less money and get a better overall experience. Yeah, you're gonna leave a little bit of ray tracing on the table when it comes to the highly optimized Nvidia ones that have like the DLSS and all the magic, because you absolutely have to use that. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Like, you have to use that. And if DLSS is really your thing, if you really think that DLSS is going to improve your image quality enough to where you're perfectly okay with getting ripped off every single time you buy an Nvidia GPU, I honestly recommend trying FSR on your freaking, like, try FSR and see if it's something you can live with. And yes, FSR does look better on AMD cards than it does on an Nvidia card. It just does. Like, Nvidia cards can do it, but yes, I feel like it's just better optimized when you're running on an AMD platform. It looks better. It doesn't look as, because I've had to use FSR on the Nvidia cards before. It looks better. It absolutely looks better on an AMD GPU. I mean, there's so many people out there that are trying to tell you it don't. But then again, there's so many people out there that'll sit there and lie to your face and tell you that Nvidia is the best platform. And for everybody out there that says, "Oh man, no, it's," just be honest with yourself, man. That's all it really comes down to. You can call me an AMD shill all you want, but I mean, just be honest with yourself. If I can walk into Best Buy and buy these products, bring them home, put them in my PC, and suffer the exact same problems that I have been since I've had Nvidia on multiple different products across 2 different generations now, I think that maybe Nvidia might not be the best. I think it might just be a PC GPU that clearly they all have issues, and clearly they all are like never perfect. There's never like the perfect optimized experience for anything. But in my opinion, and this is my honest opinion, if it literally came down to there was no such thing as ray tracing or upscaling, the damn stuttering, the hitching that I get on this freaking Nvidia GPU is exactly like the hitching I was getting when I had the mismatched memory when I first switched over to AMD, and it is so annoying. That drove me up a freaking wall. But now it's like every time I put in a new game to try it on this Nvidia GPU, like, I'm met with that damn hitching, and it's like, okay, wait, you want me to play through the whole game hitching like this, and then play through it again so like the shader compilation's better and stuff like that? No, man. When you buy a game and you put it in there and you play it, I mean, I've returned multiple games and stopped playing stuff like Hogwarts. When I first bought Hogwarts Legacy, I actually had the 3080. I quit playing that game because it was just so annoying on the 3080. And then when I got the 7900 XT and stuff, it had already been so, I was just over it, man. Like, the Nvidia kind of ruined that experience for me. I probably would have kept playing it if it would have been a nicer, smoother experience. Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess you guys can sit here and like try to fight with yourselves and lie to yourselves all you want, but at the end of the day, AMD makes a solid product. That you're lying to yourself and you're being delusional about this product, and making yourself try to believe that Nvidia is the only option for you, when, like, gosh dang, man, I think a lot of you guys would probably be happier with an AMD GPU, to be completely honest with you. I really do. I think that AMD makes a good enough product, and the features are there enough to where if you're like, ooh, I'm a ray tracing aficionado, you're still gonna get ray tracing. You can still use all your ray tracing. I even showed you guys how to get a 60 FPS experience on Cyberpunk 2077. Yes, you're going to have to lower your standards just a little bit, and you're going to have to put it on a... You're going to have to run it on a 1440p monitor. You're going to have to crank it up to 4K. You're going to have to put it on FSR Ultra... what is it? What was it like? Ultra performance, and you're gonna have to super sample that back down to a 1440p monitor, and it's gonna rock your freaking world with and still be able to utilize gosh dang freaking path tracing. Like, you're still going to be able to use it and still have a good experience. Now, that was on the 7900 XT. I guess why I've got the 7800 in there. Maybe I can throw it on there and see what kind of a setup I can get for that. But yeah, you can still utilize path tracing. It's just not going to be... Actually, to be completely honest with you, it kind of looks the same. If you want my honest opinion, it kind of looks the same. Once you turn on DLSS and all of that ray tracing and stuff, you pretty much get... Like you're losing image quality anyway. So I don't know what the freak you guys are thinking when you say that. It just doesn't make any sense to me, my friends. It doesn't make any sense to me. This whole PC thing is so dumb, and the nonsense that gets spread about each of these companies. Nvidia makes good products. For some reason, I just happen to always buy the stuttering GPU, because none of you guys ever say anything about it. You guys are just, Nvidia's the best. None of you guys say anything about it, so I guess it's only me. I'm the only one that can literally have bad enough luck to buy 5 Nvidia freaking products and still suffer this problem. The only other option I've got is to go buy an Intel setup, like buy an Intel setup and run the Nvidia GPU on. Maybe that's what makes it better. Maybe that's the only way to make it better and actually be playable, so that it's a smooth experience. So, or I can just pick only games that run good on the Nvidia. But man, I play so many games, and that's the thing about me, guys. Like, I play so many different games that I'm bound to run into more problems than a lot of people. I'm bound to run into more issues with more games than a lot of people. And to tell you the truth, as many games as I've played on the AMD GPU versus the Nvidia GPU, yeah, dude, the AMD is freaking awesome. I would say if you got 100% scale and 100% is 100% stable, I would put the AMD cards right about 89% stability, and I would put my Nvidia experience about 72% versus like 89. If you want like my honest opinion, that yeah, there's problems on both, but I would say 89% AMD is a stable, solid experience. It's pretty consistent across the board. There are them outliers, but then I feel like I have more outliers on Nvidia hardware than I do with AMD. AMD, like, I play a lot of Ubisoft games, I play a lot of open world games, I play a lot of that stuff, and for some reason the Nvidia product just doesn't do as well across the board as a lot of those, as the AMD counterparts do for a lot of those games that I buy that don't even care about ray tracing. There are the little tech demos out there. Like, I mean, Cyberpunk 2077 has absolutely become a tech demo for Nvidia. Like, seriously, and that game's old now. Like, it's old. Are you actually still playing that game? Or is it something that you're like, oh yeah, I got a new Nvidia card. You throw your Nvidia card in, you jump on there, and you're like, wow, this is cool. You play it for 10 minutes, and then boom, you forget all about it. You delete it back off your hard drive, and you move on to the other games that don't even have ray tracing, that don't even utilize those features, and you're like, yeah, I get a good experience. I don't know, man. Maybe that's the way it is. Maybe it's not. I mean, games like Gotham Knights runs just fine on my AMD platform. Resident Evil, I mean, Metro Exodus runs great. Like, so many games run just fine on the AMD experience. And when you utilize FSR and you utilize your, like, if you use like AMD's fluid motion frames, like, the experience is pretty close to what you get with Nvidia. Like, it just is. So, like, all the nonsense out there it's so dumb, man. Like, it is so dumb. It is so dumb. Every time I get on Reddit or I watch things, or I look up a review. Like I look up the reviews. Let me show you. Let me just show you this real quick before I cut this video out. I will do this. Let me see where are we at? Yeah, right here. Oh, let me just pull this over here. I just want to show you guys this, man. Just because this is like, this is so dumb, man. That people are like that it's like this. Let's see. Hopefully we've got. Nope, we don't got that there. Let me go in here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, we're done with that. Now let's look up 4070. 70 review. Okay, we'll just start off right here with Tech Power Up. In this review, we're talking about the Founders Edition, which is oh wait, no, I think it was 4070 versus 7800 XT. I guess we can use the Tech Power Up stuff still right there. AMD's RX 7800 XT perform. You see, now listen to these words, okay? Performs better in games at every resolution, all while being $100 cheaper than the RX 4070. In testing across 11 games, it has 11 games. The undervolted RX 7800 XT has 1% faster than the RTX 4070. However, the RTX 4070 has a more mature upscaler in the form of DLSS, which has been proven to be superior to FSR. The 4070 also has a much larger selection of support for frame generation. You see, it's like these right here, and then there's some more of them right here that'll tell you. What was this? With the Radeon 7 going after the GeForce, our review confirms AMD has achieved performance parity. See, now they're saying performance parity in rasterization and is pretty close in ray tracing at a much better price point. And they are giving you 16 gig. Let's see. Well, let's see what they said. And they're giving you. I don't think these are the ones that I read, but they're pretty close. AMD is finally vast performance gap between the enthusiast class. But I think when you get down to them, I think there's. I don't think this is it. Like Tech Power Up or whatever. There's another one. They're like, oh, but we still recommend like the 4070. I was looking at that on my phone. I mean, like most of these reviews, obviously, like this right here, when they say parity or whatever, no, dude, like this 7800 XT runs better than this 4070. But there's like some stuff in there. I wish I could find it. I need to start like keeping these when I see them. Maybe it was these guys. Maybe it was these PC guys right here. Slightly higher power draw. Where's their recommendation at? No, thank you. See, look right here. When driver issues get in the way, all of our tests I ran, the most disappointing results in one result is one that's not showing here. I've been testing graphics cards on Returnal. See, like, dude, they're always talking about these things that I've yet to freaking run into. Where's that thing at? Gosh dang it. Where's there? Oh, I don't really care, but like you can just see it in like a lot of these guys' comments that are like, oh yeah, due to its limitation, the performance is the performance advantage held by the RX 7800 XT over the 4060 Ti only increases as the resolution goes up. The RX 7800 XT does not suffer from any such handicap, and if you needed more reason to opt for the 7800 XT over the 4060 Ti, this should be it. What about AMD's competition from within its own house? Then they can start going into that. Why are these guys running this against the 4060 Ti? The Radeon 7800 XT stands as the only graphics card worth recommending between the $299 Nvidia GeForce RTX 4060 and the $899 AMD RX 7900 XT for the foreseeable future. Okay, well, all right. Maybe these guys here were actually like, yeah, dude, get the 7800 XT. I don't remember. I don't remember where I saw it. I'll have to find it eventually and then make a video. I was thinking about doing that, just making like a whole video with that the other day, but I was looking at it on my phone and it was like everything. I don't remember the exact, see, that's the thing. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I said something like, what's better, the RX, you know, the 7800 XT or the 4070, and you know, like a whole bunch of them were just, and these are like the ones that were closest to the top were just like, yeah, you should get the 4070. It's got better ray tracing. Like so many of them said that. So many of them said that it had better ray tracing. There's maybe 2 games that I've come across that has better ray tracing performance than the 7800 XT. I haven't tested every ray tracing game, but I've tested enough of them to be like, yeah, dude, this doesn't make any dang sense. So, all right, my friends, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.